So in the last video, we talked about kind of the consolidation of mission that came from the mentoring time that I had in Indianapolis, and kind of a defining of the mission of Mission Albuquerque and pulling together all of those extension ministries under one heading, that is Mission Albuquerque accomplishing one purpose. So I shared with you that we had made a move from our old location, and at the same time as we kind of merged with Mission Albuquerque Grace Thrift Store, and they came under our wing as Sandia Church of the Nazarene. We moved to 8216 Central Avenue Southeast. Well, at the same time, we actually had the opportunity to purchase a 17-acre property in the South Valley of Albuquerque, which is a little bit more rural, not in the middle of the city, but was the former Nazarene Indian Bible College, and we had the opportunity to purchase that property, and so we did, and we used that for various ministries from about 2007, well, honestly, till present day. But when I came back from Indianapolis with kind of new understanding of our vision, another thing that was going on at the same time, it was that the county was not satisfied that the things that we were doing on the property met the qualifications for the zoning of the property, which was church school. At that time, we needed to more clearly define how that property was being used for education as a church school, not just a church or church ministries. And so we began to develop the Mission Training Center with two real drivers. One was this weakness in our work and our ability to accomplish the mission, and the other was the purpose for which that particular property had been designated for many years. We already had quite a few members of the church living on campus. Many of them were staff members who were in preparation for ministry, taking classes through Bible college or elsewhere. So we began to sort of drill down on what the purpose of the property was and key in on the fact that the purpose of the property was for developing missional people who give back to their community, and thus the Mission Training Center. So what we already were doing relatively well was preparing people with skills for ministry in the community. But the thing that we found out we were not doing quite as well was developing people emotionally with a mental and emotional maturity and an understanding of what they need to be in order to be more functional in society as they give back to the people around them. I actually sketched out, and I wish I had that today to show you. I sketched out on a piece of paper this arrow that said meet people at a point of need, training as mission, training for mission, and kind of recognize that training as mission was the inflection point. It's the point where they turn the corner, and because they become healthy and capable, and therefore are able to work in the mission, giving back to others in an effective way. I also read the Seven Habits of Highly Effective People around that time, which is a classic leadership development book. And one of the things that I noted there was the transition that he explained or described between dependence and then independence, and then ultimately interdependence, because independence seems like the final step. It seems like the opposite of dependence. But as it turns out, community relationships are very important to our life, to our ability to lead, and all of those things. And so recognizing that we're not in this alone, but we are in this as a part of community is very helpful. And there are a lot of people that get out of dependence into independence, but they're still not healthy from a community perspective, because now they don't know how to depend on people and be interdependent with the community and ultimately sometimes family.
in such a way that they can be productive.
So one of the things we started adding to our courses that were both pastoral ministry courses, lay ministry courses, things like that that were going on, was we started adding life skills courses. And so, with all that being said, we're still in development of that. That is a constant process. We've got visions for the future that it would continue to grow. Pastor Patty is very good at developing community partnerships. One of the most powerful partnerships that we've had in recent years has been the Shine Partnership, which partners with local churches and connects with Albuquerque Public Schools, particularly Title I schools, and provides what is needed there. One of the programs that Shine has offered has been a course called Getting Ahead in a Just Getting By World, which is just in summary, is sort of a life skills program that helps people understand what they. Somebody told me, we don't know what we don't know. It helps them understand what they don't know. If you're coming out of poverty, why is it that you're struggling to get ahead? Why is it that you're struggling to just keep your head above water when other people seem to be doing that more easily than you? And so we've been very excited about the possibilities that have been opened up as we develop the Mission Training Center.